The Game Awards came and the Game Awards went, and there was no marsupials in sight. What happened? Well, let's talk about it.
Whoa!
What's up, guys? Canadian Guy here, and back with, well, not the happiest of videos. See, myself and many other members of the Crash community like Jump Button, Motwera, Wampa Gem, and many others have all been looking at what I have personally called the Activision pattern. I don't know what they call it, but it's what I call it. To try and sum it up quickly, Activision runs a 5 to 7 month promo on all their games. Activision also seems to have an internal quota for one kid-friendly game at least per year. Every Crash game since Insane came out in June and was announced in December, which lines up with the pattern. This also lines up with Spyro as well. So, we are in the month of December. The Game Awards and the State of Play came, and we fans 100% expected Crash to reveal himself, and, well, nothing happened in both State of Play and the Game Awards. No Bandicoots in sight. This definitely stunned myself and the community. Now, of course, the game could drop out of the clear blue sky this month and still hold to the pattern, but to be honest, I doubt it now. Why was this pattern broken? So, I normally upload on Fridays, but I took that day off to really think about it. Now, of course, I don't have a concrete answer, but a few theories. The first one is actually one that I've already talked about in a previous video, right before the Game Awards went live. See, we are on the eve of an entirely new console generation. In this video, I explained that perhaps Activision is waiting to release the new Crash game to have it launch side by side with the new consoles because the sales of launch titles are usually quite significantly higher due to the small library at launch. If they decide to wait to launch the new Crash game during the holiday season along with the brand new consoles, 6 months before is actually when E3 happens, which is a gigantic showing of these games. If you want more info, make sure to click the card in the top right corner and I'll put a link in the comment section below. But there's two more theories come from the same school of thought. See, PlayStation treats Crash Bandicoot like he's theirs. Everyone now knows that it's owned by Activision and is officially a third party. However, PlayStation still treats Crash Bandicoot like it's basically their adopted child. Crash has been given buttloads of exclusivity when it comes to PlayStation. Now, there is apparently a massive PlayStation event happening in February that's supposed to be the grand reveal of the PlayStation 5. This is stemmed from rumors, hearsay, and leaks. Of course, this could all be fake, but it follows the same pattern as what PlayStation did before when unveiling the PS4. It was released in February in New York when the PS4 launched, and this is the same thing that's apparently happening, allegedly, to the PlayStation 5. But according to some rumors, this PlayStation event will have many multi-million-dollar studios there, including Activision. Details on these types of things at the time are sparse, and we are not even sure if this is behind closed doors or open to the public to view. But as the Activision pattern has observed, Activision's promotions for the games last between 5 to 7 months from the announcement to release date. If this PlayStation event were to happen in early February, then the game could still come out late June and it would still fit that pattern. But that is only if this rumor is even true. And even if it is, it still poses another issue. If they were waiting for the PS5 reveal event to show off Crash Bandicoot, why would they show a game off that would be coming out before the PS5? Okay, so maybe they'll show it off as a launch title for the PS5 at this event in February. But then again, the Activision pattern has shown 5 to 7 months of promos, so that would be almost 10 months of promotions if they announced Crash at the February event, so it really doesn't fit. If you want more evidence to this as well, Activision still held to the 5-7 months promos when Call of Duty Ghosts came out, and this is a cross-generation Call of Duty that came out for PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and PS4. It still followed the same pattern. Now, the State of Play has kind of been a replacement for the PlayStation experience, as 2017 was the last show, and because we know that Crash and Sony are close, it's possible that in the months of January and early February, if we get a State of Play during those months, it's possible that Crash will be announced for the PS4 and Xbox One during one of these shows and would release in June of 2020. It's also possible that Activision will just drop the trailer out of the clear blue sky, though I do doubt it because every Crash and Spyro has been announced at some sort of a convention or game showing. However, once it hits about halfway through February, if we have heard nothing of a new Crash game, then we can basically confirm that the next Crash game will be a PS5 and Xbox Series launch title. Will it come to the PS4 and PS5 at launch? Well, that's a topic for a different video because there are nuances to that issue. But overall, that would mean that Crash would be shown off as a launch title on the launch library of games for the next gen, and it would be extremely likely that they show it off at E3. And again, E3 and the launch of the new consoles match perfectly with the Activision pattern, as the consoles would come out 6 to 7 months after E3. But there is one more sliver of a possibility of a chance of something else, and that something else could come out of left field. Maybe there is no Crash this year, but Spyro the Dragon. Now, I want to go on record and say that I don't believe that this is what's going to happen. What I am saying is that this could be one of the few possibilities on the table. Now, like I said, if by mid-February we heard nothing of Crash, then we will likely see him at E3. But during the last weeks of February, and during the months of March, April, or May, if Activision were to announce a Spyro game, it would most likely be during those times, as those are the months that Spyro would be announced. But again, it would be weird for Spyro to come out in September when 2 to 3 months later the new consoles would launch. It might just be smarter to have Spyro as a launch title for the next generation, but that doesn't make sense either. So here is what we basically need to be looking out for as the next likely events that Crash, or a small chance of Spyro, to be hitting our eyeballs once more. If Crash is coming before the PS5 and Xbox Series comes out, then we need to be looking from this point on till the first weeks of February. If we see nothing, then Crash will likely be launching with the next generation of consoles. Then from the rest of February all the way till May, we should not expect anything from Spyro. But keep an eye on him, just in case Activision pulls a fast one. Then when June hits, Crash Bandicoot should be revealed, and we should all jump for joy like one of those awful stock images. If neither Crash or Spyro is revealed by the end of E3, then the Activision pattern is broken, and I would question every choice I've ever made in my life. Now, before I go, I'm gonna go ominous for a second, so let's get dark and spooky. I have heard some odd things about the month of March. I'm keeping this confidential because I have no idea if it's true or not, but keep an eye out in March just in case something does pop up. I'm gonna dig more into it to see if it's worth pursuing a video about, so make sure to subscribe to stay up to date. Okay, spooky time is over, so now I ask you, when do you think Crash will be announced now that he was absent from the Game Awards? Comment below and let me know. A huge thank you to all those who support the channel through Patreon and being a sponsor on the channel. If you'd like to help it out, check out the links in the description below, where you can buy some CGE merch or become a Patreon. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more gaming and nostalgic content. Thank you so much everyone, and I'll see you guys in the next video.